What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Big Sean's sixth album, Better Me Than You. This is still on Def Jam, but Sean's first album since he left Good Music, of course. This album has also somehow been 4 years since Detroit 2 came out, his previous effort, so it's been a bit of a long time coming, and I think it actually ended up being a little bit of a longer wait because we pushed off the original release date following an unfortunate leak of this album in an original form not too long ago. But now we have the album, and I am really happy to say how much I like this album because I wasn't super anticipating it. Big Sean hasn't been super relevant, I think, in terms of like mainstream rap culture, even if he's continued to, maintain success, maintain fame, and maintain like listenership. People haven't really been checking for Big Sean the way they were, 10 years ago. Big Sean's sixth album, Better Me Than You, really confirms Big Sean's new status as an old head. To me, this is probably Sean's third best release ever after Dark Sky Paradise and the Detroit mixtape. Again, apologies to the Finally Famous era, but I think Big Sean has not sounded this good in at least 10 years since Dark Sky. Sean is incredibly self-aware on this. He just sounds so confident, so introspective, but also makes some of his best bangers in a long time. Like, I think this kind of gives you everything you'd want from Sean in terms of a rapper who has matured after a long career, and yet I think has now found new creative juice to go forth into a new era for himself. It's really exciting and not something I had anticipated happening. I thought Detroit 2 had been a step in the right direction, but to me, Better Me Than You is another step forward, and I think it's honestly a really exciting release. 21 songs, 66 minutes. It's long. We definitely could have cut some stuff here. There's a few skits. Nonetheless, going through the tracks, Pressure and then Iconic, the first two, both just go really hard. It's just fun to hear Sean going hard again. I think the next song, Typecast, again, super hard. The bass really comes out on that too. Track 4, Break the Cycle with Charlie Wilson. You have Sean, I think, really expertly rapping about his young son and what he wants to do and provide and teach this young man to be, and it ends with a voicemail message of some kind from Dwayne The Rock Johnson, of all people. Wasn't expecting that part. Who You Are, Superstar. Great flow from Sean. Super bouncy. Love it. The next song, Yes. This one is Sean honestly spazzing. Bit of a darker beat. There's like a chanting in the background of sorts. This is a sound, almost more indebted to like some more modern stuff. Not quite drill, but drill adjacent. Not something I would have expected from Big Sean anyway, but I actually think goes pretty hard. Like, I think just straight up, like Sean's rapping, his technical ability, the flows, a lot of variety, but a lot of consistency on this album. It's good. It Is What It Is, featuring Gunna, multiple flows from Sean, quite impressive. Thought Apologize was pretty solid. On Up, another highlight for me, very fun flow from Sean, a bit more soulful on that one. Black Void with Thundercat and Eric Allen Kane, another different flow from Sean, kind of like more of like the pause type style. It's good. This and That, featuring Bryson Tiller and Kodak, monster highlight for me. This is classic Big Sean to me. This is everything we've ever wanted and enjoyed about Big Sean as a rapper. This song is awesome. And on top of that, the Bryson Tiller feature is also my favorite version of Bryson Tiller. That's like Trap Soul Bryson on that. I mean, that song is great. I think the Kodak feature is a bit superfluous, didn't really add too much more for me, but honestly, that song knocked me out in terms of like, wow, like that's how Big Sean used to make me feel. It's been a minute. I love this one. Get You Back, featuring Cash Cobain, the rapper, the producer of our time right now. Honestly, Big Sean, he did Sexy Drill pretty well. I think lyrically he's pretty, competent at it. It's funny, like someone like Big Sean working with Cash Cobain, like when J. Cole and him linked up a few months ago, maybe raise your eyebrow when someone a good, 10, 12 years older than Cash Cobain's trying to hop on Sexy Drill. I don't think Cole was too successful at it. Not really his lane, talking about sex and whatnot. Big Sean, though, the guy who made Dance Ass, unsurprisingly, pretty decent at it. Certified, I thought this one had a, honestly, kind of unique beat, just like hella reverb on this one, a bit different anyway. Precision, another highlight for me, super hard, once again from Sean. Love the horns on this one. I wish the last song, Together Forever, popped more just because it's an Alchemist beat. Obviously, you always want Alchemist and whoever he's working with to really shine, not always the case nonetheless. Yeah, I think like even though I had been largely positive on Detroit too, I'd kind of written Big Sean off in terms of someone I ever was gonna like truly care about and be excited about again. And yet, this album really feels like a fresh start, but not just like a fresh start, like pat on the back type album. Like there are highlights on this, and I'm super confident saying like this is his best music since Dark Sky Paradise and some of his best music ever. And I think this new, more mature, more confident, more secure uh, Big Sean is really exciting. Moving forward, I mean, obviously it'd be cool if him and Janae made another 2088 album. Maybe one day. Probably will happen. I don't know. But yeah, like, I don't even want to blame anything on Kanye per se, like the last stuff being on Good Music. Like, he hadn't like collabed with Kanye in a long time by all accounts. But yeah, it just feels like he's at the start of a new chapter, and it's a really exciting first step. But let me know, what did you think of Big Sean's latest album? What was your favorite song? And for more music reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.